saw us last March may recall that we are a fan of Greg Anderson and his reinterpretation of classical orchestral works. Greg Anderson is a composer and a pianist and an avid performer as half of the Anderson and Rowe duo. His notable contributions to the performance literature today are his rearrangements for four hands, his rearrangements for two pianos, and occasionally rearrangements for five pianos, as he did for the backgrounds. Antonio Vivaldi, if he were alive today, he would be a friend and a big supporter of the Wharton Institute for Performing Arts, at least in ideals. In addition to being a composer, he was a priest and a teacher. He ran a music school for orphaned young women. And we really have to look at the significance of this pursuit in the paradigm of what women were in 18th century Europe. In 18th century Europe, it wasn't a woman's choice to go out and make a career in order to make it a living. The way that they made a life for themselves was through marriage. And typically this wasn't a choice. It was something that was negotiated and researched by their guardians, so mothers or fathers or brothers or aunts or uncles. So these orphan young women had nobody to do this for them. And what Vivaldi did was he took them in, gave them a place to stay, but more importantly, a skill set to build upon so that they could create a life for themselves. The piece that we're about to perform is from an aria, the Gustino. It is after the would-be queen has been sacrificed to a sea monster. And the king sings, Sento il segno che poggio di lacrime, which translates into, I feel within myself a rain of tears. So Vivaldi, when he composes this, he composes it for string orchestra that is split between the traditionally played bowed strings, right, that we normally see, but also the pizzicato technique, which is not as often used for string performance instruments. But pianists, we don't really have a pizzicato option, right? So what Anderson does is he puts into the score that it should be muted with a system of felt and weights. So our system is a fleece blanket and bricks. So I think you'll really hear the difference in the sound once we play.